So the Superman trailer dropped, and people have been yipping about it. A lot of yipping, so I'm gonna yip on it as well. So I'm a big DC fan. The Batman's my favorite film. The Nolan Batman trilogy is my favorite trilogy. And I've been waiting a long time for a comic-accurate Superman movie that feels like it has real stakes and weight to it. Because Snyder's a good director. I'm actually a fan of Snyder, but I don't like what he did with the character. His Superman felt very dark and cold to me, whereas Christopher Reeve's Superman was much better, much more comic accurate. He's a lot more light and hopeful like you would want him to be. But since Reeve's film came out so long ago, for me it's just hard to get invested in a blockbuster that feels so dated. I know everyone might not feel like that, but that's just my experience with it. But it seems like James Gunn's Superman has the opportunity to sort of do both. It has the chance to have these great modern day action sequences with stakes and spectacle that Zack Snyder's films had, but paired with the tone and hopeful nature of the Christopher Reeve films. Superman's supposed to be a beacon of hope. He stands for truth, justice, and the American way. He believes in the good of mankind. He fights for the people of Earth, even the ones that don't accept him and don't trust him. And he's not boring. Alright? He's not boring. Fucking you're boring. Alright? You're boring. He does it because that's who he is. And that's what Ma and Pa Kent taught him. So hopefully in this film, Pa Kent doesn't tell Clark that he should let a school bus full of kids drown, because that's just not right, not correct. And it also feels like James Gunn's fully embracing the goofy elements of the comic books that we haven't really been able to see much of. Like, we're finally getting Crypto. It's the first time in a long time we're getting the Fortress of Solitude. We're getting a Daily Planet that looks like the Daily Planet. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. We're getting a bright red and blue suit with trunks. With trunks. Trunk Nation stays winning. We're finally getting Clark being a big bumbling doofus that wears a suit 2 times too big to cover up his muscles. Straight out of All-Star Superman. Ripped right from it. We're getting a Jimmy Olsen that doesn't get shot in the head in the first 30 minutes. And we're finally getting a bald Lex. I've been waiting for the day for this hairless devil to show up on my screen. And I've seen people complain about the way the film looks, and I really just don't get where they're coming from. I think the internet's just a pretty negative place where people want to hate on anything they can. And I've even seen people go as far as to say the film looks like a CW show, which tells me they've never watched a CW show because, man, I mean, good grief. I mean, this does not look like that. And there's so many people that complain about how movies nowadays are gray and colorless, like Wicked and Deadpool and Wolverine. But when James Gunn gives us color, they say it's oversaturated. So there's really no winning no matter what you do. People are going to be upset. In my opinion, the film looks good. I like the way it looks. You can say I'm bouncing on it in 4K. Maybe I am. Alright, what's wrong with that? I think the CGI for Crypto looks amazing. I think the suit looks great. I think the action looks like it's going to be fun. And considering what Gunn did with the action in Guardians 3, I'd be surprised if the action wasn't great. The hallway scene's an all-timer. And this fight with Adam Warlock's awesome too. The score by John Murphy that we're getting in the trailer, I really love that. It's John Williams inspired, but it also has this modern day flair to it. And I think that works really well for this film specifically. It also looks like a majority of the film takes place in Metropolis, which is great, because I'm hoping that James Gunn can make Metropolis feel like a character, the same way that Matt Reeves makes Gotham feel like a character in The Batman. These locations are very integral to the characters, and it's a shame that Snyder's films sort of makes Metropolis just feel like this basic-ass city, with no character at all. And it's the same way that Christopher Nolan, my goat, his Gotham just felt like a basic-ass city. It didn't really feel like a character either. So I think it's really important to make Metropolis feel like a living, breathing place. And in the 30-second teaser we got, there was a big focus on the people of Metropolis, so I'm hoping that sticks throughout the film. So not only do I really think this trailer looks amazing and I think this film's going to be really good, I think DC in general just has a really bright future ahead of it. There have been some great DC films in the past, obviously like The Batman, like Nolan's Batman trilogy, Mask of the Phantasm, and many others. We've never really seen a real living, breathing DC universe that feels connected. I feel like the closest we came was probably Batman v Superman, when Clark goes into Gotham to investigate the Batman. But there's so many great characters in DC that have never really got the proper live-action adaptations they deserve. Like Green Lantern, for example, which Lanterns is shooting next January, which I'm really excited about. I'm a big Aaron Pierre fan, and I think he's an incredible casting for Jon Stewart. Kyle Chandler's also a part of the Game Night alumni, so he's always welcome in my book. But there's other characters in the DC universe that I'm hoping to see in the future as well that I think really deserve a fresh adaptation. Like The Flash, like Martian Manhunter, the entire Bat family have been shafted, always shafted in live action. And even some of the villains like Swamp Thing and Clayface, they're getting their own solo projects. So I think it's just a really exciting time to be a DC fan. I think Marvel's kind of hitting a slump right now, and I think DC is turning the ship around, correcting course. They've set sail for Cum Island. Feels like we're really on the brink of something special with DC, and it all starts with Superman. And luckily for me, I have Superman to keep me occupied for the next 6 months while I wait for news on the Batman Part 2.